What's up, meta nerds? Today's video we're going to talk about Rae Sloane. She ends up being kind of a de facto emperor after Palpatine has his little slip and fall incident on the second Death Star. She's one of the more interesting and complex characters that come out of all this new canon material. In the comics, we see her chasing after Canon Jarrus. She has a couple cameos in the Rebels TV show, and a ton of interesting material out of the Aftermath trilogy books. It's out of this book series that we get to see how Rae Sloane fell in love with the Empire. She was born in 41 BBY, which made her 19 at the outbreak of the Clone Wars. She grew up in a poor family on the core world of Ganthal. She describes her homeworld as a way station to other, richer worlds, and thus a lot of kids like her dreamed about being able to escape to a better life somewhere else. One night she worked up the courage to sneak out of her bedroom window and down to the spaceport. After finding a cargo ship, she was able to find a good hiding spot between a couple crates. But as she's sitting there waiting for the ship to take off, she starts to have second thoughts and decides maybe the life of a runaway isn't for her. She decides to head back home, but as she gets up, she runs into a couple gang members. Now these guys are part of the Kataska gang, and they're big spicers and slavers. Spicers, of course, being Star Wars equivalent of drug dealers. The thugs are able to grab her and slip a bag over her head. Sloane panics as she realizes that she just went in one night from worrying about a deadbeat job as a dock worker on some obscure planet, then being super excited about leaving and starting her new life, to resigning to going back home, to now being hit with the very real possibility that she will spend the rest of her life as a slave. As she contemplates the future horror that will be her life, an astromech nearby sees the whole situation and sounds an alarm. It makes shrieking, bleeping, and blurping sounds, strobing lights, and anything it can do to draw the attention of the nearby constable, basically a dock policeman, who runs over and scares off the thugs. As soon as they let go of her, she runs as quick as she can back home and is able to sneak back into her window without her parents ever knowing that she snuck out. Some years after this, the Empire comes to her world and immediately clears out all the scum. It was then that Rae Sloane started to think of the Empire as a heroic and necessary force in the galaxy. Rae Sloane realizes that the Empire is a way that she can make the galaxy a better place, and they also provide a pretty good alternative to working the shipyards. She eventually signs up for the Galactic Empire's Naval Academy on the Outer Rim territory of Prefspelt. Upon enlisting, we can only assume that an Imperial officer said something along the lines of,
"That's good. You've taken your first step into a larger world."
Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe for even more Star Wars content, and remember, may the Force be with you always.